Cool. Okay. So the next writing team. How many of you are here? Is it just two of you that are here? Are you both coming up, or? Three of you. You're all three. Oh, brilliant. Okay. So please, are you all coming up? Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. Excellent. Please welcome to the stage Pete Harvey, Alan Gibson, and Alan Jones. Oh. That one. Why not? Or have a couple. I don't mind.
I wasn't going to come up.
Brill, hello. Tell us a bit about yourselves, your writing partnership, and how that works.
I'm Charles Darwin. I'm Alan Gibson. He's Alan Jones. Pete Harvey.
Yeah, I'm going to say my bit and get off the stage. Alan and I are working at the same place at the moment, and it just happened that one lunchtime we were talking, and Alan said he was going off to Austria to see some chorale or something that he'd written. I said, bloody hell, you're like a composer or something. And he said, yeah. I said, well, I've got this idea for a musical that somebody gave me years ago, Seth Bullock, should name him now, about 15 years ago. And I've been asking people left, right and centre to do this thing, and Alan had the wherewithal to do it. So he started writing the music, and I dried up with the lyrics, so got Alan Gibson in. But yeah, they can take over the Allens.
Right, yeah. It's this. What's the musical about? It's about Charles Darwin. We all know about Charles Darwin. He's the guy behind the Descent of Man, and it was about the species and everything else. We were thinking about calling it the species. That might be an idea as well. He was also a naturalist. And I thought it was quite interesting if he was actually applying to go on the Beagle, if he got his profession wrong and wrote down naturist instead. And the idea of actually having a nude Victorian guy up here with a big beard, that sort of thing. And that certainly would bring the crowd in and maybe get rid of them as very quickly as possible. But that was an idea. And Peter very quickly dismissed that and said, no, we're not going to go down that particular route as well.
Sorry, everyone, that isn't happening tonight. Apologies.
But Alan, go on. Do you want to say a little bit about the lyrics?
So I wrote the words Pete wrote the words for the first one, and I wrote the other two. So I've written kind of songs all my life, really, but it's a bit more of a challenge doing something like a musical. I've never done one before. In fact, my daughter said, Dad, why are you writing a musical? You don't even like them. But as a challenge, it's been very interesting, and I can do the rhyming and scanning and everything, but now I've got Alan to compose music as well, and you do a lot of research because you have to find out about these things in detail, and then you have to interject some sort of humour and whatever to it as well. So it's quite a challenge, but it's been good. I've been immersing myself in it and just getting on with it, really. It's very helpful having other people to work with, obviously, because if I write lyrics, I need someone else to make a song, But yeah, I'm just really enjoying the process, and it's the first time I've ever done anything like that before.
We also came up against this character who's very local. A lot of you will be aware of Mary Anning, who's this unsung hero, and she was collecting fossils not very far away from down in the Lyme Regis Jurassic Coast, and very poor background. Lost her father when she was 12 years of age, and then sold them. These fossils that she collected, and so she became this very, very pioneering paleontologist. So she's very, very poor, and yet Darwin is the person who was particularly wealthy to begin with, but also then became very wealthy and married into the Wedgwood family. Of course, you know Josiah Wedgwood. And so he didn't have any problems about travelling around the world in this particular way and, indulging himself in collecting his specimens while she was sadly on the beach. So there's this sort of very, very interesting dichotomy between the two people and their social backgrounds. But so you'll see that in the songs as well as we come through on this one. So anyway, I'm going to leave you on the stage to carry on by natural selection. You can carry on.
Without leaving the script.
Okay. Okay. If we get a chance as well, I was here this afternoon for a little bit of the rehearsal. I just thought these guys are absolutely incredible. I know we're going to give them a big round of applause. What musicianship! Extraordinary.
Incredibly
extraordinary musicianship. I enjoyed it. And I was particularly gratified that actually adults are on the stage performing it. I've been a music teacher and in charge of music departments and doing musicals, but when you get kids to do it, they have to do it. You will do that.
Wait, are you telling me we don't have to?
These poor kids, yes. And of course, so many years and years I've been getting kids up on the stage. I think a lot of them probably are having therapy about it now. But watching professionals and adults doing it is something very, very gratifying. And thank you very much indeed.
Well, thank you for giving us your music to perform. Alan, will you tell us about the 3 songs that we're going to hear today, please?
Okay, the first one is a hymn to curiosity, which is the general idea, kind of a bit of an overarching idea if you are curious and interested in things in general, in life in general, and we all know that you lose your sense of wonder is a kind of a cliche, but if you continue to be curious and interested in everything or in things, in your passion, as you call it, then that is useful in life. And Darwin, for instance, his father wanted to be a doctor, and he didn't enjoy the training, so he gave it up. And he carried on with his natural history, which is what his passion was. And obviously he was a privileged gentleman, and so he was able to do that because his father sponsored him. And as Alan said, Mary Anning, for instance, was doing similar work, but she was a poor woman in the middle of the Industrial Revolution, so she didn't have any rights and things like that. So real contrast there. And so the first song is Hymn to Curiosity. Next one is about Mary Anning and Charles Darwin and the difference between the two of them. And the third one is about... Who's Charles Darwin? And I think that'll make a good football chant. But possibly not with the Darwin. But it's about the idea that they were 5 years on a boat. And he'd never been on a boat. He was seasick immediately and for a long time. But he was 5 years on this boat, which was a naval research vessel. And I just considered that the sailors, who have a really hard life anyway, a lot of them die and, they're forced to do work all day, almost like slaves, really. And how they would perceive the difference between them, the Marines, who were the soldiers, who kind of kept the sailors in check and defended the boat if they needed to, and the gentlemen and the officers and gentlemen like Charles Darwin. So I thought it'd be interesting to see how they perceived them as opposed to just looking at Charles Darwin.
Brilliant. Okay, so as Alan said, we have Curiosity up first. That'll be sung by Max and Becky. Then we have Searching the Shingle, which will be Max again with Fiona. And then Who's Charles Darwin Anyway with Richie Spencer. Sorry, Rich, I keep doing that. Oh, got to get that right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's all under control.
How deep's the sea and why's the sky blue? Where do we go to when our bodies are dead? How high's the moon and what makes our blood wet? All the wind blows down on a grain of sand. Fate takes everyone in its powerful hand. What you find today, what you hear and see, when you shine the torch of curiosity. As we grow older in the novelty phase, we've been there, done that, and the bills are all paid. We should continue to wander along, exploring, thinking, writing your own song. Oh, the wind blows down on a grain of sand. Fate takes everyone in its powerful hand. What you find today, what you hear and see, when you shine the torch of curiosity. Welcome the spirit of discovery, the patron saint of what you want to be. Your torch is lit, so shine it brighter. Life is a story and you're the writer. Oh, the wind blows down on a grain of sand. Fate takes everyone in its powerful hand. What you find today, what you hear and see, when you shine the torch of curiosity. This morning is dawning, same ship, a different day. I'm leaving this evening, show me a different way. This morning is dawning, same ship, a different, show me a different way.
Searching the shingle for seashells each day to sell in my shop on the shore, showing small fossils in specimen trays. Gentlemen brazenly gaze, some of them buy, and some of them lie. They use me unkindly for money and fame. I'm Mary Anning, I do all the grafting, and they don't even mention my name.
Searching the beaches for fossils and clues, I packet them back to my store, collecting my samples for science and truth, writing my journal once more. Other men try and often ask why, but they will record me, even applaud me. They know Charles Darwin, gentleman author. The world will remember my name.
You remember me.
The world will
Remember my name.
searching the shingle for seashells each day,
Roaming the coastline and
seeking the same in some way. bless him
and
trade.
his money, he's doing
The same things for sure a gentleman tries.
I often ask why. It sounds very wrong, sir.
I have a sponsor, privileged life.
Circumstance strife.
Who will remember? Who will remember my name? Who will remember? Who will remember our names?
He's writing up his journal in his cabin all aboard. He's carrying a pistol, he's carrying a sword. Off collecting specimens in boxes and in jars. Who's Charles Darwin anyway? He's collecting samples, drawing interesting stones. Here's a sack of shells, ooh, here's a bag of bones. Charles collecting finches, Charles collecting fox. Who's Charles Darwin anyway? He's so gentlemanly mannered, we're sure he lives a life of glamour. Trotting off on horses, swanning round at sea. Who's Charles Darwin? Where did he spring from? Who is Charlie Darwin anyway? I'm looking very closely with a scientific eye, thinking fairly deeply, plotting where and why. My stories may astound you, for some the truth is grey. I'm Charles Darwin every way. Riding with the gauchos, miles and miles by horse. A gentlemanly scientist, a naturalist of course. Everything's connected, even Lyell's law. I'm thanking Mary Anning every day. Despite all of my endeavours, we're sure that no one lives forever. Sending off my journal, writing for my fame. I'm Charles Darwin, the world is changing. Now you know the man and what's his game. This changing. And now is the time to listen. Darwin is your man and that's his game. Thank you.
I definitely hadn't realised we had got to the end of that one. No, I don't need any sound. Cool. Right, brilliant. So we've already reached the last of our writers for tonight, which is crazy. So with well, just to tell you, we're actually going to do 4 songs from Grant's show because. And he's going to tell you all about this, I'm sure, in a minute. And there's some flyers I see around. Are You Worthy, which this show is, which these songs are from. He's going out on tour. Yeah. So that is very exciting. So Grant, why don't you come up and tell us all about it, please?
All about it.
Well, I mean, not everything. Well, first of all, tell us about you.
Okay, so I wrote a musical by mistake. I'm a double bass playing troubadour. I write an album every 6 months and I travel around the country and I play gigs of all sizes. I've played Glastonbury Festival, but I've also played people's living rooms. I played a swingers party in a garden once. I'll play music anywhere. I've been to 1 million gigs basically, and I love music. That's what it is.
It's fair to say that, I mean, we know each other from here.
Yeah.
But for the last few years, we've actually only ever met each other in Shropshire.
Yeah, in the middle of Shropshire, under a castle. That's because you're involved with a festival that's on there. It's a great festival that's full of cover bands and sort of cover bands. And I get asked to play there and play my disgusting songs. It's really odd. I get to play my original songs there and people seem to still
and they're
like
brilliant,
it.
and we love it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a strange place, Shropshire. Love it. Ordnung. Sorry. So I do this thing where I travel around the country basically. That's my whole job. I am self-employed. I'm also massively single as a result. That's just the way it works. Because you can't be. Let's face it, doing what I do. So that's basically my whole life. I love music, and so you've got to put the context of the fact that I think music is the best thing in the world. Anyone else think that? Yeah, it's kind of strange. And I get to see a lot of people corrupting it and people using it to make more money than possibly we should be making from it and stuff like that. And the fact that getting a guitar out here would be just as good as getting a piano out and all that sort of thing, and we could just have a nice time. But for some reason, music is the only art form where we have to license it. Just saying. And so that's where I'm coming from basically. I'm coming from a point of defending music as something that we should have in our lives. But it's also funnier than that.
True.
What's the next question?
So tell us about Are You Worthy?
Okay, so Are You Worthy was, I was playing a gig in Bournemouth and someone said to me, you should write a musical, and I went, all right. And then that was in December 2022, and then by April 2023 I've written it and we put it on for 2 sold out nights in Bournemouth. And it was just literally a dare of, what should I write a musical about? And I was trying to find all sorts of things, and I thought, let's try and write something funny, but whatever. And then that year, 2022, I was also invited to go to Glastonbury Festival, and I realised there was a lot of rich people there saying, we're free. And then I was trying to think, what are they free from? Because there's an 8-foot wall around this thing, and there's a 400 quid price limit and stuff like that. I realised they're free from poor people. That's what they're free from. That's not right. That's not what music should be about. That's not what festival should be about. So this whole musical is a defence of all the people that can't afford music anymore, who's tried to buy tickets to say Taylor Swift lately. Yeah? Capital One credit card to do it? Yeah. It's a lot of money just to see music, and you think the more money we're making, maybe we should be charging less. Maybe that's just a thing, Bruce Springsteen. Anyway, and it's just that's where I'm coming from basically. So I wrote this whole musical. I was at Glastonbury Festival. I was looking at this giant pyramid, and I've always had this theory that pyramids have been not very good for the working classes of history. Usually pyramids are not surrounded by equality. Not often. And so I just thought, well, and we're on a place called Worthy Farm. Literally, this place is called Worthy Farm. So this is writing itself. Started writing it. Wrote a song about bucket hats. It's a massive success.
Oh, and it's coming.
These aren't even the most offensive songs in it. But yeah. Any other questions?
Well, so we're doing 4 songs.
Yeah, that's because I sent you 4 songs because I was deliriously ill. Sorry.
No, that's fine. But also, I hope that you see this as we're wishing you the best on this tour. So tell us about the tour.
The tour is all completely self-funded, no Arts Council, because I completely forgot to do that.
So did we. Thanks, Julia.
That's the thing. I come from a world of music where I put my hat down at the end of the gig. It fills up with money. I put that in the car and go to the next gig. I forgot that the Arts Council existed. So thanks, Arts Council. Yeah. What a great thing.
I probably should have mentioned that. I don't know if I did yet, but yes, we are Arts Council funded. Thanks, Arts Council.
Yeah, thanks, Arts Council, whoever you are.
Mysterious.
they have a pyramid. And
Yes.
yes, they do. Oh, yes, they do. Isn't that controlled by one of Murdoch's children? Sorry, okay, let's not talk about that. Okay, so we're going on tour. The idea is to put it on. It's completely DIY. It's funded by people. People bought tickets beforehand. That's what the money that's gone into it. And the idea for the tour is to build an audience for it, so that I'm not going to PRS register it or anything like that. I want it to be something that people can perform wherever they are without getting arrested, because that's unfortunately where music's getting to now. And I just genuinely believe that if communities can put it on at a price that isn't prohibitive, because I don't know if you ever tried to put on The Little Mermaid.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah? How much does that cost? 30 grand?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's not have musicals cost that much. I'm sorry, musical writers, but let's try and make it something where communities can come together and have a good night and make some money for their communities or for themselves, maybe. You know, let's not make that a bad thing for amateur dramatics.
Fair dues. Okay, so we are going to hear the opening song from, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is The Greatest Most Magical.
The Greatest Most Magical and Wonderful Thing to Have Ever or Will Ever Exist. That's its full title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't fit that on the programme. I've got limited space.
This song is, so this is at the beginning of the show, there's a media personality called Bethany F, and she's interviewing the owner of the farm. His name is Russie Wussie. It's not based on any Russie Wussies we might possibly know. And they're trying to hawk the competition for the festival, where they're trying to get people to compete for tickets. Imagine a festival, this is completely fictional. Imagine a festival where people compete for tickets before you even know who's playing.
Who is playing Glastonbury this year? No.
Dua Lipa's playing. I'm fully behind Dua Lipa. Anyway. But yeah, so that's to start the competition, and then at the same time, our main character, who's Glory, who is she's a nurse, and she embodies the love of music that we all have, that thing that's in us all. She embodies that purity of loving music and responding to vibration. Is that the right word? Yeah. And so she saved up all her money. She's ready to buy a ticket. She's ready to enter the competition. She comes in and sings a song, and that's the end of that song, basically. And then there's a competition. What do we call this one? Oh, just words and noises. Okay. So there's a competition, and she doesn't win. Sorry. But the competition is basically, they ask her why does she want to come. They first of all ask the CEO of a credit card company, the son of the CEO of a credit card company, why he wants to come, and he just says, I just want to get children here, up in a field, and I just never want to grow up. That's what he says. And then she says, I just love music, and they all laugh at her because that's the stupid reason for going to a festival. You know, it's not even about the Instagram backgrounds. And they all laugh at her, so she has a soliloquy, which is the most simple song I could have written. That's a love song to music. That's the idea of just words and noises, which is what I say sometimes when people say, oh, that song's really good. And I go, oh, it's just words and noises, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not, obviously. It's not just words and noises. They take work and we respond to them. And then, what do we go for next? Oh, and then it's the saddest man at every festival. And you'll sing this song every time you're at a festival from now on. Every time you walk past the bucket hat stall. Because I always feel like that's the man who's made the biggest gamble at every festival. Because he's literally taken his whole life in a transit van to a field in Somerset, hoping to come back with no bucket hats. That's a big gamble on a Sunday afternoon. Anyway, so that's that song. Do you want to talk about the fourth song as well?
Yeah.
I say the fourth song is, by the end of it, there's a pyramid that sings. I forgot to tell you about this. It's a pyramid that sings, and at one point, Glory ends up in so much debt because she's had lots of food taken away, and she can't afford the prices of the food. She actually ends up getting a credit card that sponsors the festival to buy a portion of chips, and then she can't pay a credit card bill because her deposit has been used. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. She gets into the festival, by the way, because she agrees to do litter picking. And this is a true policy at most big festivals, which is if you agree to do litter picking, you also have to pay a deposit to make sure you don't run away. And that deposit is exactly the same price as a festival ticket. So every time you see someone picking up litter at Glastonbury Festival, they've paid 420 quid as well. They're just hoping to do their 40 hours to get it back. Just saying. Okay, so when we're sat there going, we're all free. We're not. So she's agreed to do the litter picking. She's got no money. She's got into debt. And she's in trouble, and the pyramid says, why do you hate this festival? We've even written one love on a hillside for you. And she just basically tears down the pyramid. She pulls down capitalism right there. And then right at the end, they sing a song called 6 Feet Away. We also find out that there's a Conservative MP behind the pyramid called Sir Merlin Ratmorg. He's eating a nurse's leg. And it's musicals, right? and he basically goes, ha, down with the arts, and down with Southampton or wherever he is, and runs off. And then at the end, they just basically go, oh, it's always a bastard, isn't it? It's like they always find out that there's just someone making money out of it. So they sing a song called 6 Feet Away, which is a big finale and another reinforcement of the fact that music is the best thing in the world.
Thank you very much. As Grant has said, first song is Greatest Most Magical. That's where I'm going to start.
Yeah. The greatest, most magical, wonderful thing to have ever or will ever exist.
Thank you. And that's going to be sung by Rebecca, Fiona, and Richie Spencer. Then we've got Just Words and Noises by Rebecca. Then Bucket Hats, and Max is singing Bucket Hats. I cannot wait. And then we will finish tonight with 6 Feet Away, and that'll be sung by the entire cast, so that's exciting. Brilliant. So please welcome to the stage Rebecca Bailey, Fiona Lynn, and Richie Spencer.
What is it that makes Clastonworthy so special?
I'd say it's the magic that is only conjured when good people come together, in love and without boundaries. Love is free to us all.
Wow.
Oh, can you smell it? 'Cause I can smell it. The summertime approaches in the air, and I can sell it.
For quite a price.
Yes, it's expensive, but it's so worth it. I mean, we've got a massive pyramid right here for you to worship. You see, free love is free to anyone who's able to afford it. Free love is free to those who throw a grand or three towards the greatest, most magical and wonderful thing to have ever or will ever exist.
It's so prestigious.
Nigh on religious. The winners get to spend the weekend partying with us.
And if you're lucky, you'll feel so smuggy.
When you tell off all your friends you are the special chosen one.
And they will think you are so cool and secretly all damn. The selfies and the videos you post up on the gram. From the greatest, most magical and wonderful thing to have ever or will ever exist.
I can't wait for everyone to get here. It's going to be so exciting.
Tell me, Rusty Wussy, how many people are you expecting?
Oh, I'll tell you. Imagine if you can. 300,000 weekend hippies and crusty trustafarians will trek up from the city.
And all those winners will want their dinners.
Yum yum.
To meet their higher standards, from sushi to blue slushies.
We brought all of the stuff they like for 1 week just to be here, so they won't have to go without the things they have all year.
And the greatest, most magical and wonderful thing to have ever or will ever exist. And if you'd like to apply for a ticket, then the contest will start in 1 hour. Hard work and sweat and tears, I have saved cash for 5 long years. my life's dream to come to here and sing my songs to the screams and cheers and the greatest, most magical and wonderful thing. The greatest, most magical and wonderful thing to have ever or will ever exist. It's just words and noises to some, but it's so much more to me. When I hear music, it makes magic inside of me. Just words and noises, maybe just chords and melody that call to me and show me who I can be. 'Cause when it's right, it makes the night, and I see colors and starlight. It gives me strength to rise and fight, and asks me to use all my might. It makes me laugh, it makes me cry, connects me to a time gone by. It's there in our first lullaby. It weeps with us after we die. It's just words and noises, I know, fleeting and then it's gone. It only exists when it's time to sing our songs. It's just words and noises, you see, that belong to everyone, tethering all of us to where we all have come from. 'Cause when it's right, it's pure delight, as basses build and start to rise. The melody flies oh so high and reaches up into the sky. It makes us laugh, it makes us cry, connects us to a time gone by. And we'll sing their first lullabies and sing for those who've lost their lives. It's just words and noises to some, but it's so much more to me. When I hear music, it makes magic inside of me.
Will you buy my bucket hats? Who will buy my bucket hats? 10,000 bucket hats. I need to sell these bucket hats. I called my wife and told her that I bought 10,000 bucket hats. She said, we can't pay rent with bucket hats. You stupid, selfless, reckless brat. Now she's gone with the kids and cat. I miss them and I want them back. So I need to shift these bucket hats. Please, will you buy my bucket hats? Who will buy a bucket hat? Please, will you buy a bucket hat? Please.
Forgot this is still on my head. Thank you, though. I love that. Thanks. Yeah. Brilliant. Right. So we've come to the end. I'm very sorry, but I just want to say a couple of thank yous now, or more than a couple. I want to say a few thank yous now, and then we will do our final performance. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to Howard and Jill, who have been doing our sound and lights at the back there. Thank you so much for doing that for us. Also, a massive thank you to Julianne and all the staff here at Stage Door. Please keep supporting this venue. To the other members of ACJ, actually, we're all up here apart from one, but thank you, Steph, for putting up with us doing this again. Also, a very big thank you to the Arts Council. This event is part of a series of events called So Stage Door. There are posters outside the door. Look at those. There's lots of different things going on. It's a really, really brilliant initiative where we have nights, young musicians, lots and lots of stuff. There's theatre. There's music. Lots of stuff. Can we say a massive, huge thank you? He didn't get to do the first one, but this gentleman here. This is George Story, everyone. 7 instruments he's played tonight. 6, 7, whatever. And I'm hoping to only increase that count as we go through the series. How many can you play now? 16, isn't it? 17! Hooray! Please, can you put your hands together to our incredible cast. Rebecca Bailey, Fiona Lynn, Max Panks and Richie Spencer. Can we also thank the most important people in the room, our incredible writers, Simon Fortune, Arney and Hughes, Pete Harvey, Alan Jones and Alan Gibson, and Grant Sharkey. His name is Teddy Clements. I am Kevin Jones. Thank you so much for coming, and we will see you April the 6th. Please welcome our entire cast to sing our final song. Thank you very much.
You are never more than 6 feet away from a bastard, even out here, fucking up our lives, year after year. So next year we'll kick out the bastards, and we'll all cheer, and take back our music, sunshine and beer. Take back our music, sunshine and cheer. Just good old-fashioned greed and slavery. Who fucking knew?
to milk the poor peeps of everything. Thou rob our minds and dignity, and steal every penny worked for by you and me. Hi Mum, it's me. I passed the test. It's a long story, but now it's clear to me that music is the best. It's the greatest, most magical and wonderful thing. The greatest, most magical and wonderful thing. The greatest, most magical and wonderful thing. To have ever, or will ever, to ever, or will ever, to ever, or will ever exist.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you April the 6th. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.